Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Baschamania podcast. This is episode 153, I believe. I know I got the number wrong in the last one, but I think this is 153. Excited to have Kyle Snyder and Jason Nolf back on the show. We're going to talk about Kyle's upcoming best of three series with J'den Cox at the RUDIS card. We're going to talk about their trip competing in Russia a couple months ago. And a couple of other little surprises we get into that are pretty fun. I'm recording this intro after having the conversation. Definitely tune in to the end. We kind of divulge into non-wrestling stuff, which is always, in my opinion, the best. So before we dive into that conversation, I do want to let you guys know this podcast is brought to you by our friends at Attack, A-T-A-C, Attack. It is an app for athletes. It is an AI strength and conditioning coach, nutritionist, mentality mentor, all in your pocket. Your age, your goals, your program. Attack is here to level up. And I would argue that it's not even just for athletes. If you're like me, I'm 35. I want to be in shape. I've said this before in the podcast. I love the app because it gives me workouts, especially after we endured COVID where you couldn't go somewhere at times and you needed somebody, something to help you through workouts. The Attack app has been amazing. If you have means to do things, it is so awesome. Download the Attack app, ATAC. It's in the Apple App Store. Follow them on social. You will not be disappointed. And shout out, thank you, Attack, for sponsoring this podcast. I've said it before. They continue to give back to this wrestling community. Some people come in and just take. Attack gives. So grateful to have a great sponsor of this podcast. With that said, let's bring Snyder Man on. Captain America, Snyder Man, back on the show. It's been a while. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
It's so funny preparing for this because I'm a big senior level freestyle kind of guy. Like a lot of my clients are freestyle. And when I started following the sport, it was because of working with so many senior level athletes. And then, naturally college is so fun to follow. And today, Big Ten pre-seeds come out. That's all the rage. Everybody's talking about Big Tens and conference weekend. And here I am, like, thinking about your trip to Russia, RUDIS Supercard. Like, it's such an interesting dynamic. And I think it's good for the sport that there's so much going on that it's not like usually there's like this big hangover after NCAAs. But when you're a freestyle fan, there's not, because it's right into the next thing and the next thing. And with the RUDIS card even being just before it, it feels like Super Bowl week. So I want to talk to you about the RUDIS matches for sure. Couple things before that. With Big Ten pre-seeds coming out, by the way, do you follow college wrestling much? Like, are you following what the Penn State guys are doing, what Ohio State's doing? Are you paying attention to that?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know the seeds came out today, though, so I'd be interested to hear a couple of the weights.
Go on Baschamania on Instagram. I posted all 10 weights.
All right, sweet.
It's some fun stuff. And for those listening to this, we are doing Corby's coming on tomorrow. We're going to do a full Big Ten preview show. I can't wait. I wanted to try to get to Big Tens, but I'm going to NCAAs, going to the RUDIS card. That's going to be fun. All right, let's start here. Because I saw recently you ate raw liver with syrup.
Yeah.
And I need to understand this because I saw Seth Gross and John Reeder eating the same thing. I see it going around. My buddy, who's a chiropractor, sent it to me. There's that one dude on Instagram. I forgot his name, but he's jacked as can be. And he's always eating raw meats. What led to raw liver for you?
Well, I ate it raw because I always heard that the texture, if you cooked it, was worse than if you ate it raw.
How can it get worse?
That's what they say it's like really spongy, like, I don't know. So I didn't want to try that. And my dad grew up eating liver and onions. And he always said the texture was it's just that he didn't like the texture, So, and for me, it's not about what it tastes like or any of that. It's just about eating it and getting the nutrition out of it, So that was the first time I ever ate it. I didn't have a good game plan because now it's a lot easier because I cut it up into real small pieces. So it's like you're not a lot of chewing, like there's a lot of chewing in the first time because the piece was so big that I ate. But and the syrup and the salt really take a lot of the flavor away. Like you don't taste it until you swallow it.
Really?
Yeah, like it just tastes like, syrup.
That's so wild.
So
and it's that beneficial for you?
they say that the most nutritious food in the world is liver, and then second is oysters. So and liver's like above oysters. Like I saw this like scale one time, and like liver was like way above oysters, and then oysters was like pretty far ahead of everything else. So
Man, I'll have to try that because anything that's nutritious, like I'll drink a lot of green juice and stuff that I don't typically care for, but you adapt to it. Like you grow a palate for it. So anything that's healthy, I'm all for. I have a special guest hopping in today. Once I told him that you were coming on, he called me earlier. He wanted to hop in.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see Jason on here, man.
I thought I'd make it interesting.
Jason, we were just talking about Kyle eating liver with syrup. Have you tried this?
No, but I think that if you put maple syrup on anything, you can eat anything. I could eat dog crap if I put maple syrup on it.
But you get
I agree, especially if you thought it was going to be good for you.
Yeah.
So you haven't tried it though, and you won't?
I'll try it. I just haven't. I haven't yet.
We need Snowflake to send us some, Kendall.
Yeah.
Because everything he sends. Kyle, when you go get liver, is it just going to the supermarket and it's there? Do you got to go to like a butcher? Where do you get it?
I got it this place in State College called Nature's Pantry.
Okay, that
so
makes
it's
sense.
Like and it's like I liked it because it was like grass-fed cows and stuff like that. And the place is cool. I like Nature's Pantry a lot. They had a lot of cool stuff over there. So because I read online, if you eat raw liver, you want to be like careful about what you eat because you can get sick if it's not prepared correctly.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I'll go to the store and end up getting salmonella or something.
That whole eat healthy will backfire. All right. So the food part of this is over. Unless, Jason, do you have any interesting meals you've had recently?
Well, I've been in an argument with my wife because I'm trying to get her to help me with groceries. And she keeps yelling at me saying that I need to take action and figure it out myself. And I'm like, well, you're supposed to help me. So we kind of, she got a grocery list together for me, ordered grocery to my front door. So I'd like to say that I'm grateful for that.
That's Proverbs 31 right there.
She ordered the groceries to your front door?
I told her she didn't need to do that, but I said, if you can get me a grocery list, because I'm trying to, like, I eat healthy, but I don't even know, like, how to meal prep or, like, I don't know what to even, like, get to make food for myself. I just know what I can and can't eat. But so she's helping me with the structure, and she ordered groceries to my front door.
What a wife. Maddie, you the MVP.
That's all I have about food.
All right. So I want to go back a couple months before Putin, like an evil demon, started terrorizing Ukraine. You guys were in Russia. In that trip, I haven't seen the documentary yet that RUDIS did. I want to watch that. I heard that's amazing. You guys look like you had some fun, and I'm definitely jealous because I have never traveled outside the country at all. And you guys don't just travel outside the country to compete. That was like embracing a culture. That was really learning. You got to kind of do best of both worlds. You got to compete and do what you love. And then look like you guys were eating dinner on a ship or something, which looks super cool. Which, first of all, by the way, do you guys have like a translator that's with you?
We had a translator.
Because I was going to say
we didn't bring one, but they prepared one for us.
Do a lot of them speak English that were with you?
Very little.
Yeah. So what was that like when you guys got there? Does it look like I saw the hats, the robes? Jason became an honorary warrior, it looked like. What was that like for you guys?
It was crazy. I'm glad Jason's here because he's got like a steel trap for a memory. So he can get in on a lot of the stuff that I missed. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I thought I mean, I thought I was just going over there to compete, and I thought the trip would be a little different, because before we went, they were saying that Kadisov was going to meet us at the airport in Dagestan and pick us up, and I was like, well, that's different. We don't usually get picked up by those guys, and I love Kadisov. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, so I was looking forward to meeting him and spending some time with him. And then Saul July texted me like 2 days before we got to Moscow, and he was like, I'm going to pick you guys up in Moscow, and we're going to go and have some dinner and stay at a hotel and stuff like that. And I was like, man, what's this trip going to be like? and that's how it was the whole trip. We never knew what was going to happen next, but they just took such good care of us. And yeah, it was crazy. I mean, we were meeting governors. We were meeting like the mayors of different areas of Dagestan, went to their village. They literally stuffed us with food. I mean, we were eating nonstop.
What were you eating?
Everything that we sat down and they just started putting food on our table. I mean, our plate.
Were they explaining what it was?
Somewhat.
You can tell they haven't ate dinner, by the way. For those listening to this, I haven't stopped talking about food. I haven't ate dinner yet.
I will say one thing. All of the food was really good. And then must have been Wednesday night. So we wrestled on I wrestled on Tuesday. Kyle's guy forfeited. I wrestled on Tuesday, and then Wednesday night we went to like 4 dinners. It was like we spent all day. I was sick already from the helicopter ride, because I got like motion sickness, and the people were
naturally.
Yeah, they were so concerned. They just kept asking if I was okay, and I'm like, yes, I'm just motion sickness. But they couldn't really understand the translation.
Right.
I was not having a good time. And then we went to this seafood restaurant, and that was pretty good. It was good food, but I offended the chef because I didn't want one of the things that he wanted to give me.
What was it?
I think it was just sheep. It was like lamb or something, but I'd eaten too much of it already. And I was like, I was still planning on competing that Friday, and Kyle was just taking whatever anybody gave him. I was like, all right, yeah,
I would have too.
And I was just so full. And then after that, we went to another person's house, and they had like this fried pumpkin mixture, and then they had this thing that made me sick for the rest of the week. It was goat fat broth, and they made me drink it, and I did not want to, but they go, yeah, drink. I was like, okay, and I still gag when I think about it. So it was so bad. And
what a story for your future kids.
Yeah. And I couldn't, after that, I stopped eating anything that they recommended. I started eating only American food at restaurants.
What about you, Kyle? Did you do the same?
No, I just was like, I was eating whatever they wanted me to eat, like they were just, I would sit down and Saul July and those guys would just start putting stuff on my plate. And I'm like, I eat pretty healthy, and I also don't eat like a lot of sauces and stuff like that. Sure. And I don't like mayonnaise, and I don't like a lot of weird stuff, like weird stuff that's weird to me, like probably normal to other people. So I
love mayonnaise.
Yeah. So I was like, they were just throwing stuff on my plate, and I knew I was like not gonna like it, but I was just like, I'm gonna keep praying, and I'm gonna keep eating. So we'll see what happens. And I was able to survive. My only regret is like when we got there, I was in competitor mode, like I was like, I'm here to compete. I want to win. So I was like, when they would bring out desserts and stuff, I would kind of like eat like maybe like one small bite and then try and like make it look like I ate a lot more than I did. And
it was an inside job.
I know. That's what I did earlier in the week. And if looking back, because by the end of the week, I was just like, whatever, man, we are just going to go in. It doesn't matter what happens at this point, because we haven't even trained since we've been here. So I was eating ice cream, cake.
That's Nolf's daily diet.
Huh? Not anymore. He's good.
Yeah. Now that he's got groceries being delivered, he's better. But
right.
Let me ask you this, because it's not often you see two of the top pound for pound guys in the world exchanging cultures like that and having a relationship. Where did this friendship with July like kind of evolve?
I mean, I saw him at the Alans in 2019, and he invited me to go to Dagestan immediately after that tournament. And I wasn't able to go because we were going to fly back. Basically, I think it was that night we were going to start our travel home. So I said I would come after the Olympics. Kind of, I mean, I didn't really know for sure if I would, but they took that as like he's definitely coming.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I went. And I mean, the relationship really just started when we got there. I mean, he's the one who picked us up, and he every day they had something planned for us.
Kyle's word was on the line because they took him at his word that he was going to go, and if he wouldn't have gone, they would have considered him a liar.
Yeah,
maybe not to that extent, but like. I thought that was interesting. It was like the Lord provided for us, for him, for him specifically.
Yeah, that's wild. And like, what's that dynamic like? Where it's like in the last couple of years, he's the only guy to beat you. He's like the guy that the only one arguably standing in the way of your goals. And you're so cordial, you're friendly, and I think that's a great Christian example. Like more than anything, it speaks to your character. But what's that dynamic for you, like balancing that?
It was no big deal, like in the beginning, because I mean, when you start wrestling internationally, all you hear is, be careful with them Russians. They're sneaky. They'll act like your friend and then, stab you in the back or cheat and stuff like that. That's what the coaches and everybody's always telling you about them. So then when I first got on the trip, everything was like so nice and stuff. And I was like, they're keeping us up late. What are they trying to do here? They're trying to feed us too much. And they're like, you don't have to worry about weigh-ins. And I'm like, do we really not have to worry about weigh-ins? What's going on? So then it just is like, yeah, I mean, they're just trying to show us a good time and be as hospitable as they can. So it was all good, like, of course, when we compete, it's still going to be just like any other match. I want to go out there and win and wrestle my best and stuff like that. But off the mat, I'm really thankful for the friendship, not just with July, but all those people over there. I think they could turn into something really cool in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of competitions, you guys went over there. Jason, you competed in World Link. Kyle, you competed that weekend. Kyle, you're wrestling soon in the RUDIS card, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But your competition schedule this year, what does it look like moving forward? And Jason, yours too, really.
Moving forward, gonna wrestle March 16th against Cox, best 2 out of 3, and then wrestle first week of May in the Pan Ams, and then we'll wrestle in June at the Final X, wherever that is, and then wrestle Lord willing, make the team, and then there's going to be a ranking series tournament in July that I'd like to wrestle in, and then that'll probably be it before the World Championships in September. There's not a lot of other competitions in August and stuff like that, so just would compete in that one, and so that's what I'll be doing.
What about you, Jason? Do you know?
Yeah. So, pretty similar after June, same schedule as Kyle, but before June, our schedules look a little bit different. So I want to wrestle at the end of this month, maybe like beginning of April, like on a ROKFIN card or something like that. But if that doesn't happen, then for sure my next event is the US Open in Vegas at the end of April. And then I have to go through the mini tournament at the World Team Trials in May 20th, 22nd.
And do you know, or can you say if you're going 74 or 79?
Yeah, I'm going 74.
74?
Yeah.
That'll be exciting. I think my wife and Freddie, the baby, are coming to the US Open. So that'll be good. He gets to watch you compete live. One more thing before we talk the RUDIS card too, since I have you both on. You guys are both Christians, I look up to you both. I think you guys both have great character. And I know you both have a Bible study you go to, right? Wednesdays. Tell me about
Yes.
that and what that's kind of done for you guys.
Oh, it's been good. I mean, I love Bible studies, and it's just good to hear other people, the way the Lord is working in other Christians' lives, and to be encouraged by that, and just praise God, with singing, and just learn about him through his word. So I really appreciate it. And it's over at Joe Bastardi's house. You know Joe Bastardi?
Oh yeah.
So if you know Joe
Big
Bastardi,
fan of Joe.
yeah, that's a pretty interesting guy. So anytime you go over to his house, always some interesting conversation and stuff before the study begins. And some of the wrestlers come, some of the guys from the club come, and some managers, and some of my wife's medical student classmates come occasionally. So it's all good. It's a lot of fun, and I really like it.
Yeah, he talked about we started singing these songs because Kyle leads the Bible study, and it's about an hour long. But the one day he comes, he's like, we got to start singing songs. It's important to worship. And it was like everybody was so off key, and so horrible at singing, and there was no guitar, nothing, and it was nobody knew how to sing the song. So we're getting better each week. My wife Maddie, she plays a guitar, so when she's home, she's not been for the last month and a half. When she's home, she'll play the guitar and we'll sing, and that's a lot better. But yeah, it's funny to hear I think it's funny, like when new people come to the Bible study, they don't know what they're getting themselves into. But we start sing like 2 songs before we start anything. And some people sing and some people whisper, but no, that's good.
Do you remember what songs you did last time?
Last time we did
Who You Say I Am?
Yeah, Who You Say I Am, and Graves in the Gardens. Yeah.
Those are good ones. You guys hear Psalm 46, Lord of Hosts? You got to check that out. I'll text you both a link. Amazing song. The week before we went, my wife got induced and went to labor. She was like overdue 2 weeks. And that song was on like repeat going into it. Amazing song. I'll send you guys both there's a YouTube version that is just unreal. I think Shane and Shane came out with the song, but a church in DC, I believe, did it and crushed it. So super cool. Who else is in this Bible study, by the way?
It depends. I mean, it just depends on the week who comes. So,
because I forgot, one of the Penn State kids was telling me he went, and I can't remember who.
Max Dean comes.
Yeah.
Marco Vespa comes sometimes. I would say those 2 are the main college guys that come.
I can't remember who it was. Was it Brooks? Did Brooks go?
No.
Brooks does. I think Bo does a Bible study with some of the college guys separately.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I know I was talking to David Carr about one, and I crossing the 2. But all right, let's talk a little bit about this RUDIS card, because I'm super intrigued. I know back when it started, the announcement started, I honestly kind of couldn't believe it, because they went after some of the best matchups right away, like you and J'den. And it wasn't even just you and J'den. Then it's like you and J'den best of 3. Then it's Zane versus James Green. Like, these are world team trial caliber matches. And I was so excited to see somebody throw their hat in the ring and to see athletes get behind it. Because I know a lot of times you have athletes that say they want to compete, but then they don't. And I talked to enough to hear the stories behind the scenes when guys, it doesn't work out. But then there's some who just say, no, that's not for me. But I love seeing the number of guys that are putting on the line. First of all, how did this match with J'den come about? And what was the decision to make it best of 3?
Yeah. When RUDIS came out with RUDIS Plus, they wanted to obviously get into the event space and stuff like that. And we were trying to think of like matches that could be big and that we could create. And since Cox didn't happen at the Olympic trials, we felt like that was going to be one of the biggest matches that we could wrestle. And best 2 out of 3. It's like that's what it was supposed to be at the Olympic trials. So just to make it as fun and exciting and real as it possibly can be, we just made it happen. And obviously they did all the talking and getting J'den on board with it and stuff. And yeah, so
was there hesitation at all by J'den to compete? Like when you guys are both such competitors, but sometimes when you have guys who could be an Olympic team trial final, a world team trial final, there's that hesitation of like, no, I don't want to wrestle him till then. Was there any of that with you guys, or was it just like, let's put it on the line?
Honestly, I don't even know. I wasn't involved in the process of getting the match ready or, any of that. I just said I'd do it and let them figure all that out.
Makes sense. And is it at 97 kilos?
Yeah, we're going to make scratch.
Scratch.
It's the real deal, baby. It's the
Yeah.
real deal.
I'm excited for it. It's one of those things where, like I said, when I started seeing the matches, my only disappointment was that Nolf's not on the card. The rest is very, very exciting. But maybe we can get him involved.
I'd love to see Nolf on the card too.
Maybe we can get him
I
involved.
like watching
in,
Jason wrestling.
Yeah, maybe like a last minute addition. We can do something. There has to be a way. I'm
not opposed to.
By the way, because Jason did mention he wanted to wrestle like on a ROKFIN card or something. So any promoters, anybody putting matches together in the next couple months, Jason is available. I won't even take a cut for this promotion. Just reach out. I just want to see him wrestle. Kyle, how much is on the line for you? Like how much of this is, just an event versus how personal is this for you? Where, like you said, this was a match so many were looking forward to for a long time, the Olympic trials. And now, even though a team spot isn't on the line, I got to imagine in your head and in your heart, there's so much on the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot on the line every time I compete. And when I think about this match, when I think about, I guess, all my matches in general, I feel like I'm getting the best out of every opponent that I wrestle, because for them, it's like they get the opportunity to wrestle one of the best guys in the world. So they can showcase kind of who they are when they compete against me. So I always feel like I'm getting the best of them at least the first minute, and then sometimes things change after that. But so then with J'den, I feel like he's one of the guys. There's not a lot of guys, but he's one of the guys that gets the best out of me.
Sure.
So I'm very thankful for him. As a competitor, I'm thankful that he's in the weight. I'm thankful that he agreed to compete against me, because I just feel like I'm improving so much as a wrestler, because I knew that this match was coming, and I know how sharp I have to be in so many areas of my wrestling to compete against somebody like this. But every match for me is, like I said in the beginning, every match for me is important, because to me, it's not just about I'm not just out there wrestling, but I'm doing what God wants me to do, and I know He's teaching me, and I want to give 100% with everything He's given me, and so they're all really important. This one's not personal to me. It's just a big match. It's a good competitor, and it's somebody I'm looking forward to competing against.
Are you training specifically for anything J'den does?
Yeah, we got my partners all lubed up. So, nah. Yeah, I mean, you're always, when you got a match like this, you know what they do. And me and J'den have trained so much together. We haven't competed against each other since 2015, but we've been training with each other for the past 7 years or whatever, so I really have a good understanding of the way that he wrestles, and there's always some things I can sharpen up that for him and for other competitors. So, but we're getting prepared.
Do you have a favorite match that's not yours on the card?
I mean, I like Imar, Derringer, Green, and Zane. I think those two are going to be really good matches, high level matches. So those would be probably the top two outside of that. And I'm looking forward to Miles and Mark Hall too. I think that's going to be interesting, seeing them wrestle.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun event. Like I said, my only hesitation is I wish Jason was on it. But for those listening, by the way, it's going to be on RUDIS Plus. I think it's like $60 for the year. And you get this if you're in Detroit for NCAAs. It's at Motor City Casino. It's 21 plus. I actually just texted Levi to ask him. I'm like, I know it's 21 plus, but I really want my wife to come, but we have a newborn. Can she sneak the newborn in? We'll put him in like a carry pack in the front of our chest, but can we sneak him in so that she can go? But tickets are on sale. That's going to be fun. Jason, when's the next time you're wrestling now, other than the Open? Do you have anything in the works?
Well, we were supposed to, there was some speculation on going out to, where was it in Russia? It was
Rudia. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were going to go out there in the beginning of April and wrestle some good matches. I think that Kyle was thinking about wrestling Zabrailov. I was going to wrestle Zamalov. Gilman was going to wrestle maybe Agoyev, and then Zane was going to wrestle Rashidov.
NLWC versus Russia. That's what everybody needs.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to work out for multiple reasons at this point.
Yeah, a lot going on in Russia right now.
Yeah.
I would love if we could start. I know USA Wrestling really tried it with Bout at the Ballpark. I really hope we can get more international duels. I think international wrestling is so fun, and we so few get the USA versus the world, which I'm excited for the World Cup. World Cup's here for the next 2 years in December. Do you guys know yet if you're competing? I know it's so early for that.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we got to make the world team in June, and then
is that who's going to compete the World Cup, the world team?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome. That's in Iowa City, Iowa, end of the year. That's going to be fun. US Open's going to be fun. RUDIS card's going to be fun. What else you guys got? What else you guys got coming up that we can tout and let people know?
I think competition wise, that's it.
Any soccer games for you, Jason?
Big ping pong tournament coming up.
I'm glad he brought that up. I'm really glad Jason brought that up.
The rating, I've won the only ping pong tournament we've had.
I know, but talk about it more.
I ain't gonna talk about it any more than that.
Have you heard about this?
I have not. I did see one post on his Instagram story. I saw like a couples ping pong tournament or something.
Yeah. Well, those are just for fun. The real deal is individual. And I'm gonna go on record saying that I don't think there's a wrestler in the United States that can beat me in ping pong. One of the best players
other than me
in a best 2 out of 3 series. In a best 2 out of 3 series.
You don't think I can beat you in a best 2 out of 3 series? I've beaten you. I've beaten you in multiple best 2 out of 3 series.
I know, but you can't do it now.
I beat you 3 out of 4 yesterday.
Wait, what are you talking about?
We played 7 games and I won 4, you won 3. Then we did a best 2 out of 3 series and you beat me.
No, we were just playing game for game.
I beat you 4 times out of 7.
Yeah, and then I won 4.
Yeah, okay, but you can't say that there's not a wrestler in the country that can beat you.
We weren't playing a best 4 out of 7 series. You never said that. Huh?
I'm playing every game matters to me.
That's right. That's how it was for me too. But no one said, when I said, all right, let's play a best 2 out of 3 series and winner take all here, I won, obviously. I'll tell you some of the best players that I've played in my life. Jason Nolf is one of them. Pat Downey is actually one of them. And Ildar, he's a Greco-Roman athlete in WCAT. He's one of the best players I've ever played. But I got a new ping pong paddle. I was down to
Nolf about before your ping pong paddle.
Yeah. Before I got my new ping pong paddle, I was losing to Nolf in a series. What was I losing? What was it?
22-6.
So I was losing to Nolf in a series 22-6. And I said, this isn't right. I was having trouble sleeping at night because I
Tell them
felt
how
like
much the ping pong paddle cost that you bought. I just had a $20 ping pong paddle from Dick's.
I bought a $175 ping pong paddle, and it completely changed who I was. Now Jason is really struggling. So the series was 22-6. The series was 22-6. Now the series is, what is it?
78 you, 64 me.
78-64. Can you imagine that?
I've been closing the gap.
That's hard to imagine.
Where do you find a ping pong paddle for $170?
You go to the top sites. You got to get top gear, man.
Are there ping pong store websites?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's worlds out there that I don't know. I thought when we started this, you guys were going to enlighten me about like Russian culture and food. And instead I'm learning that a $20 ping pong paddle is not sufficient. This is game changing.
Well, it took me until he was up by like 20 games on me, because I was up by 16, then he went up by like 20 games. And then I was like, all right, I got to get a new paddle now. So then I went on and I bought the same paddle that he had, but it wasn't working for me. So then I had to buy another paddle that was like $70. And that one, I've won more games than lost with that $70 paddle.
Now, what about the table?
It is true.
Also, if I went back and played Jason with the $20 paddle and he played with the $20 paddle now, I would beat him.
No, you would not. You
beat
me 1 out of every 5 games of that.
No, I beat you consistently.
I'd place a bet on that.
Where's the table located? Is there home field advantage, or do you guys both have a table?
It's in my garage.
Are you practicing like Dwight did in The Office? I know
No.
Jim did, I think, to play Dwight.
No,
you practiced a lot when Maddie was there.
I would play Maddie, but it's a different speed and it's different styles. Just like wrestling, like you can't. I don't know.
Listen, I think I'm gonna have to talk about it. I think I'm gonna have to negotiate a deal with you guys to get this on the Baschamania ROKFIN channel. I'll give first rights to NLWC if they want it, but this needs to be on ROKFIN. I will come to State College, live stream it, sponsor it. Winner takes all. We'll come up with a prize, but it's best of 7 games.
We'll put it on Ocean when it launches.
Ooh.
I'm extremely confident that there is not, like I said, there isn't a wrestler in the United States that can beat me in ping pong. I don't think it's possible at this point. It's probably my second best. It's probably my second best sport.
I beat you 64 times.
I know, but you can't beat me more than I beat you.
What are you talking? Because here's what happens, and this is the last thing that I'll say about it. Every single day when I had the lead on him, he was, oh, you want to play ping pong? You want to play ping pong? Hey, you want to play ping pong? Ping pong? I'm like, dude, yes, I'll play. Let's go. Because I'm always down. I'm not afraid to play. As soon as he gets the lead on me, all right, I'll see you later.
Ooh, Kyle, you're not defending the throne?
And then yesterday we play 2 out of 3. Okay, let's play 2 out of 3. And then he beats me. And then I'm like, all right, let's play again. He goes, I got to go make dinner. Got to do my exercises. Starts making excuses. And I text him all the time. And we've played maybe 2 times in the last 2 months.
That's not true.
Wow.
But before that, we played every single day until I gave him a chance to get the lead.
How close do you guys live?
A couple miles. Takes about 8 minutes. No big deal.
Sounds like a high school thing. Like, come over and play ping pong. Okay, I'm gonna kill you. I love it.
There was a lot of trash talk this last day of playing.
It's a big surprise. This might be like the clickbait headline of the podcast, because a lot of people think outside of wrestling, the competitiveness in State College is in dodgeball. What they don't know is it's actually in ping pong.
Yeah. Well,
there's not a lot of people that can actually play.
Yeah. There's not very many people that can play. So in the last tournament, I think, Kyle, what'd you take? 3rd place?
Dude, why are you talking about that?
I don't know. Is that what happened?
Yeah, but remember when you and Garrett tried to beat me both?
All right.
Remember when you and Garrett tried to both beat me? One time, the guy who took second place, Garrett Bastardi, very good guy. He came over and Jason and him played me. We might have played 12 games and it was winner stayed on. I never went off the court.
The next time we played, I beat
I was
you.
unbeatable.
The next time we played, I beat you every time, and Garrett beat me.
Yeah, because you caught me in the second round. It don't matter, man. 78-66. I'm going to get to 100 here soon. It's no big deal.
Yeah, if you ever come back.
Is there a prize for first to get to 100?
Whoever
You
gets
just
to
own
100
them.
has to pay for the other person's golf membership for the year.
You don't want to do that.
Wow. We might have to text the deal offline because I may want to get involved in this and make it very competitive. There's nothing I love like antagonizing competitiveness.
This podcast has gone astray really quickly.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what the people want. They don't just want the wrestling talk. So we covered Russian food. We covered American food and liver. We covered RUDIS. We covered a lot. I think that's all I have. I'm looking at my notes here. I think we covered everything. Anything else we got before I let you guys go practice ping pong?
Nothing, man. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Tune in March 16th, I believe it is. It's on RUDIS Plus. Kyle, J'den. It's going to be best of 3. And then maybe there'll be a bonus. Snyder versus Nolf. Ping pong. Best of 3. So, all right, guys.
Like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Awesome. Guys,
Be
we'll talk
easy.
soon.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
See you guys.
And the beat goes on.